Hello, Monmouth College and all the friends of Monmouth College. I'm Sybil Stockdale, and I'm the reason we aren't there in person today. I'm Jim's wife, and Jim is right here, and he, of course, is the recipient of the Monmouth Hall of Achievement Award. We were so hoping we could be there in person today, and the reason is because the doctor said that with all the back troubles I've had in the last year, I can't fly for some time. And so we hope that possibly this visit with you by video will help make up in some way. The first time I ever saw Monmouth College was when I first went there with Jim before we were married, when I came to Illinois from Connecticut to visit him and meet his parents. You remember that, Jim?
Yes, I do, very clearly. Yeah.
And you took me over to Monmouth and showed me Monmouth College.
Yes. And I was very proud of that year there, and we had a good time over there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful school. I'll be happy if someday, maybe if one of our grandchildren will attend Monmouth. I would love that. Jim had an unusual experience, as I recall, about joining a fraternity when you first started Monmouth?
Well, yes, and I was, of course, not up to speed on such exalted activities as fraternities, but I had a phone call in the middle of the summer from a man named Bob Becker, and he introduced himself, and he said, I'm president of a fraternity at Monmouth, and I would like very much to come over and visit with you some weekday or weekend time. And it was only about 25 miles from my house to the college, and he showed up, and he had a friend with him, and they were very enthusiastic about my pledging, really, to pledge to this fraternity, the Phi Kappa Pi, which was an independent fraternity at that time. And it rang a bell with me because two of my cousins had gone to Monmouth when I was a little boy. They were 15 years older than I. And they had belonged to that fraternity, and I'd been in that fraternity house as a little tyke. And so the whole idea seemed to be flawless, and so I committed to it, and I've never regretted it. So that was kind of a different way. I thought there were all kind of competitive things you had to do and show certain interests and so forth. But I came in the back door, it would seem.
Well, I think that's most unusual to come in the back door, and I would not advise anybody else necessarily to try to do it that way. I don't know quite how that was worked out, but could your father have had a hand in that? Possibly. He was pretty innovative. He was loads of fun.
I didn't have any proof of that, nor did I challenge him, but you never know with him around.
That's right, that's right. I remember going to a football game at Monmouth, and one of the things I loved about the game was one of the cheers. One of the cheers is, "Go North, go North, go North." And I said to Jim, my goodness, how many college students in the United States would know which direction north was? I don't think many of them would know, and here they know so well they have a cheer saying, "Go North." I thought that was particularly wonderful, and with all the different college games I've gone to, I've never heard another cheer saying, "Go North." You had some good teachers there at Monmouth, too, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I think of them frequently. My chemistry professor was Garrett Thiessen, and he was a very, very interesting man. He had a brilliant mind. He could stand up there at the periodic chart, and this was 1942, and describe to a bunch of freshmen all that had to be done to develop an atomic bomb, and he understood all the different steps, and he even kind of made, we could kind of follow what was entailed, little knowing that 3 years later we would win a war with that very weapon. But he had a kind of a disorganized gait about him. We would sometimes joke, do you think his wife helps him get dressed in the morning? Like his tie wouldn't be up, or something was askew all the time.
And speaking of neckties, I hope everybody notices that Jim has on the Monmouth College necktie, and I was somewhat alarmed when I saw how bright red it was when he brought it out and I had on this dress, and I hope it doesn't clash too much. Maybe it'll kind of blend together.
yeah.
I love
Well, it
that.
was
It's
a,
a wonderful necktie.
a
Wonderful.
Scotch Presbyterian church, and therefore the plaid.
Right.
Well, anecdotes about the old prof. He had a practical side. One morning, all the chemistry majors that I knew were doing their work in the lab, and when the lights went out, and they said, well, Thiessen came in and said, well, we'll find out what's wrong. So they all trooped downstairs, and they said Doc would go over and he would expose a wire, and he'd put his finger on it. He said, there's juice here. And then he would go down here, and there's juice here, and now we got to find out where the break point is. But I mean, he didn't even shudder. I mean, I'm telling you about a guy that looks very fragile and frail, but he would just put his finger on the hot electric wire and not even be motivated. But they were just
Also, didn't you also have, I think I've heard you tell stories about a lady Spanish teacher who wore Oxford shoes?
Oh, yes, and that was Miss Garwood, and she was about 50, never had been married, and sweetheart in personality, and she was kind of a unique person. She would spend every summer in some place where it spoke the Spanish language, and that was her whole life.
The first time we came over to Monmouth from Abingdon, your hometown of Abingdon, when I was with you, we went and visited, I think, a Sherrick family who lived
Yes.
on Broadway. And had you not lived with them for part of that year?
Yes, with World War II just overcoming the country, this was 42, and by Christmas, by New Year's of 43, Monmouth had been picked among about 20 schools to take in Navy cadets that were on the way to getting their wings for ground school, and they were there for 3 months, and then there would another school with another group would replace them. And so the whole living quarter situation on the campus had to change. The Navy took over the old main building, the big building, and all the fraternity houses were vacated, and the men just had to forage for themselves. Bear in mind that at that time there were every week men would leave the campus because they were being drafted. So that was a big change.
Where did you go?
Well, we had our own problem to work, and I had the good fortune of having this friend, John Sherrick. Father was a prominent doctor, and a big house on Broadway. That's the name of this the big street in this little town. And so I moved in there and had a bedroom, and there was another fellow named Roush who was in the fraternity, and he came in too. So they just took in two fraternity guys and made us welcome, and we had a lovely time getting to know the family. One of the people there was the doctor's mother, and she was fragile but very sharp. Often we would carry her upstairs to bed, but she had a lot of laughs and a lot of things to say.
And I remember when we went to visit, she was sitting there on the sofa with a shawl. She was kind of half lying on the sofa with a shawl over her legs. And I think it came time for her to go to bed, and Dr. Sherrick carried her out. And it was almost like a doll, but boy, she was a smart little old lady, and loads of fun.
Yes,
loads of fun. And then after, let's see, that you finished your first year living there at Sherrick's, did you not?
Right.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
then I went to Annapolis, and that was the end of a very interesting year, and one I still cherish as a memory.
Yes. And you know, probably some of you realize that through the years Jim has had lots of awards and plaques and mementos and so forth, but I don't think any award you can have means nearly as much to you as something from your hometown and the area where you grew up. And that is what Monmouth is to Jim, and I know that's why he cherishes so much this special award from Monmouth, and I am so sorry that he cannot be there in person, that we can't both be there in person. But I promise you that if I have my way, before too long we will be.
Yes, I bet we will.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.